My name is Paul Philippon. I'm the founder, president, and brewmaster at Duck Rabbit Brewery. We started the company in 2004, so we've been around not quite 12 years now. Over the course of the years, I've done a little bit of everything here, but now mainly run the packaging line and administration. I've been a professional brewer since 1998, brewed at 3 other places before founding Duck Rabbit. And prior to that, I was an academic philosopher. There were job opportunities in the brewing field that didn't exist in academic philosophy. I was teaching year to year, a 1-year position, and I felt like I saw colleagues of mine who were, in my opinion, smarter and more talented than me, struggling to get tenure track jobs, struggling to get permanent jobs, and that looked hard to me. And so I, chose my secondary passion, and I've never been happier. If you look at the logo, you can see that it looks like a duck from one perspective and looks like a rabbit from another perspective. Sometimes people have to sort of tilt their heads and think about it to see both, but a version of that illustration was used in a philosophy book that I very much admire called Philosophical Investigations by Ludwig Wittgenstein. And I thought when it came time to start my own, establishment, that it made sense not to choose a name and a brand image out of thin air, but to choose something that has relevance to my life and is part of my history and has a story behind it. Brewing is a combination of science and business and artistic expression, I think. And having the opportunity to do my own recipes, to sort of chart the course for the business in a way that reflected my personality and reflected who I am was very appealing to me. I think it's a way to exercise a little more of the creativity than you would be able to if you're working for somebody else.
Usually what we do is we do 2 brews a day, about 5 days a week. What we do is mix together malted barley with hot water. We're looking to incite like an enzyme reaction. This enzyme is naturally present in the barley, so when we activate those, they convert the starches in the malted barley to fermentable sugars. From there, we filter out all that liquid, which is just kind of like a barley tea, and boil it. And add in hops to the boil kettle, depending on the type of flavor profile you want. You add in hops at certain times to get different effects from them. So sometimes you add in hops just to get bitterness, to balance out any sort of residual sweetness. And sometimes you add in hops more near the end of the boil, you're going to get a big hop flavor and aroma. After it's finished boiling, we go ahead and try to cool it down as quickly as possible because we're about to put it into a fermentation vessel with yeast. Yeast does not like boiling hot temperatures, so we want to cool it down to about 68 degrees Fahrenheit and get it in a tank with yeast so the fermentation process can begin. And what happens there is the yeast consume the sugars that we made over in the brew house and metabolizes them as alcohol and CO2.
What do you think the future holds for Duck Rabbit?
That's an interesting question, and I wish I knew. I think it involves, it holds further growth. We've grown every year that we've been in business, and it's my intention to continue doing that, but we've grown with a hand on the reins. Having said that, of course, the competition is a lot tighter than it was 12 years ago when we started. There's a lot more breweries out there, which not only means that shelf space becomes a premium, it's harder to get that shelf space because there's more breweries vying for it, but also you're competing for workforce. You've got, there's a limited pool of trained brewers, and there's more breweries wanting to hire them. More brewers are being trained, so that workforce is growing, but there are challenges ahead because of the growing industry. I really think it's all rosy and it's all going to be good and we're all going to thrive and prosper. I mean, everybody who's making good beer. But there are challenges tomorrow that are different from the challenges yesterday, and you have to find a way to tackle those.
Do you think local businesses are important?
I do. One of the reasons is purely economic. With local businesses, the money stays in the community. When you spend your money with a local business, that money doesn't end up going to the corporate headquarters in I don't know where, wherever it might be. Also, I think it gives the community character. if all you have are businesses that are franchises and chains that are the same as the businesses in the next town over, that are the same as the businesses 3 states over, I think that you lose a sort of local flavor. Furthermore, I think local businesses have the opportunity to be an expression of an individual's passion and an individual's creativity in a way that a large chain never can be. Or they have too much at stake. They're spread over too many different, groups of the tastes that someone might have in Los Angeles, California, are, one supposes, different from the tastes that someone might have in Farmville, North Carolina. And we can be Farmville, North Carolina. We can't be everything to everybody. I think that's different from a huge corporation. That's my opinion. And I just feel better about shopping with people I know and with people who live down the street, as opposed to people I don't know and who, maybe they're based in Brazil. I don't know. Yeah.